Okay, perfect. So we are on part 2 of lesson 2 or chapter 2, lesson 1. We already had done decimals as fractions and mixed numbers, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take fractions and mixed numbers and turn them into decimals. So on page 91, picking up where we left off, I want you to take a look at number 5. Now, you're going to get taught 2 methods. You're going to choose what method works best for you or which one you feel most comfortable with, or sometimes you can do both of them, go back and forth depending on what you want to do and how you feel like it's going. So method number 1. Here's what we're going to do. It says, write 9/12 as a decimal. So method number 1 says you're going to write an equivalent fraction. In order to write an equivalent fraction, we have to have a denominator that is tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. Okay, so our denominator has to be 10, 100, 1,000 because that is our place value system. So if I have 9/12, looking at it, most of you should now realize, hey, that is not simplified. What happens if I simplify that number? What happens if I divide each of these by 3? I end up getting 3/4. Now when I look at 3/4, is there a way that I could get to a denominator of 10 from going from here to here times something that's not a whole number? So what about if I go to 100? 4 times what gives me 100? 4 times 25. If I multiply the bottom by 25, I have to multiply the top by 25. So I'm going to multiply the top by 25. So 3 times 25 is 75. So 9/12 is the same as 75 hundredths. Okay? So 9/12 is the same as 75 hundredths. Now remember, when I look at this, I write that exactly like a decimal. 0 and, because I don't have a whole number right here, okay? So 0 and 75 hundredths. Remember, tenths, hundredths, okay? All right, so that's method number 1, is finding an equivalent fraction. Method number 2 is dividing the numerator divided by the denominator. Okay, so here's the thing that I always see. Change colors here, just because it's fun. So I'm going to do 9/12. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the numerator and divide it by the denominator. But what I see happen all the time is people are flip-flopping the numbers. Okay, they're putting them in the wrong spot. They're putting the divisor as the dividend and the dividend as the divisor. I'm going to show you something that is so key right here. This is what you're going to do. You're going to write your fraction. So everybody write your fraction, 9/12. You are then going to do a division sign right next to it so that this 12 stays out here. Then I'm going to take that top number, 9, and I'm going to place it down here. And then I'm going to cross it off. I'm going to put a decimal point, and then I'm going to add 2 zeros, and I might have to add more depending if I need more. And now my problem looks like this. 9 divided by 12. That's how you take your numerator and you divide it by your denominator. This way you don't put them in the wrong spots, because if you put them in the wrong spots, you're going to get the wrong answer. Okay? So when we divide decimals, we take this decimal point and we're going to put it right up there. We're going to put it there and forget about it. Okay? We're just going to leave it. Now it looks like I'm taking 900 divided by 12. When I look at 9, okay, how many groups of 12 can I make? None. So I'm going to put 0. So now I'm looking at 90. When I look at 90, I know that I can make 7 groups of 12. 7 times 12 is 84. I subtract and I get 6, and I bring the 0 down. Okay? I have 60. How many groups of 12 can I make? I can make 5. 5 times 12 is 60, and I'm left with 0. So 0 and 75 hundredths. Wow! That's the exact same as this. That's the exact same as this. 2 different methods, 2 different ways to get the same answer. It does not matter which way you do it, okay, as long as you pick a method and you stick to it. Now, if you like to go back and forth and practice both of them, go for it. That's amazing, okay? You do that. All right, let's take a look down below. We're going to start off with 3/5. Now, I'm going to show you both ways on this one, and I'm going to show you the equivalent fraction first. Okay, remember, I need to find an equivalent fraction that would have 10 as a denominator, or 100, or 1,000, or 10,000, or 100,000. But looking at this, how do I get from, what can I do multiplying or dividing, to get from 5 to 10? I can multiply it by 2. If I multiply the bottom by 2, I have to multiply the top by 2. So I'm going to multiply this by 2, and I get 6/10. 6/10. So we're going to write that as a decimal. 6/10. 0 and 6/10. Okay? Now, let's take a look at that if we were to divide, and I'm just going to kind of move right up here. So here's my 3/5. I'm going to take that numerator, I'm going to drop it down, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, I'm going to place that decimal point up there. I'm going to put another 0 there. Sometimes I always just usually put 2. Doesn't mean that I'm going to need them, but still. If I have 3, can I make a group of 5? Nope. If I have 30, can I make a group of 5? Yep, I can make 6. Do I have any left over? Nope, I'm done. 0 and 6/10. Washa! It's amazing. Okay, it's math, guys. All right. This one should be super easy. Here we're just going to go ahead and do an equivalent fraction. Why? Because I know that I can do 100. Okay, because I'm talking about 14/25. What times 25 times what gives me 100? 25 times 4, thinking of quarters, right? So I'm going to multiply that denominator by 4, which whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. Whatever I do to the numerator, I do to the denominator. So I'm going to multiply this one by 4, my numerator by 4, and I get 56/100. Write that as a decimal. 0 and 56/100. I'm just double checking to make sure that that is in the hundreds place value. Next one, okay? Oh man, I love this one too. Okay, so we're going to actually do division on this one just so you can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this down. 1, 0, 2, decimal point 1, 2. I'm going to add one more just in case because it looks kind of like I might need it. Okay, so I have 102. Can I make a group of 25? Nope. Okay, I have 1,020. How many groups of 250 can I make? Well, I know I can make 4 because 4 times 25 is 100. Add a 0 is going to give me 1,000. So then I'm going to subtract, and I get 2, 0, and I'm going to bring the 0 down. If I have 200, can I make a group of 250? No, I can't, so that's going to be 0, right? If I were to multiply 0 times 250, I'd get 0, and then I'd be left with 200. But now I'm going to bring that other 0 down. Now I have 2,000. How many groups of 250 can I make from 2,000? I can make 8. And I get 2,000. I'm running out of room. Running out of real estate, right? And I'm going to subtract, and I get 0. So I have 0 and 408 thousandths. Okay, so you had part 1. This was part 2. If you're feeling like it's not really making sense, I'm going to have part 3, which is going to be practice problems on the next page. So up to you. If you feel like you're ready, jump into the lesson, the homework. Okay. If you feel like you need some more practice, jump into the next practice, part 3. Maybe.